what's happening now is meant to be. I don't really celebrate the wins.
So Drake is quitting rap. Stay tuned to hear why he's leaving everything behind. There have been a lot of convincing rumors going on with Drake quitting, and it might actually be true. Stay tuned, you'll be surprised as the reasons why he's leaving.
Victim of my surroundings at the time, and not like victim, but like product of my surroundings at the time. Really just trying to execute for the people around me.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.
Number 7. New album? Last album? Usually when we talk about why a rapper will retire, it's more speculation than anything else. A burst of intent to show why they could retire. But in truth, with Drake, it's a little more complicated. We know that barring a delay, which could be possibly given the lockdown of the world, his 6th main album, not including mixtapes, is coming out this summer, and signs have been pointing to this potentially being his last album for a lot of reasons. Many have reported that various emotions have driven certain albums, like how anger was one of the biggest motivations for Scorpion, which featured many disses against Kanye West. But in recent times, Drake appears to have mellowed out, and that kind of mindset is making many wonder whether he'll keep going. Add to that, he just released a new mixtape via Dark Lane demo tapes that some have felt is a true mixtape of all the stuff that Drake has done over the years, including collaborations with friends and allies in the music business. And as one reviewer noted, what is there left for Drake to do? Which is a mindset that he himself has said he's thought about. During a show with LeBron James on HBO, Drake talked about his retirement. I think maybe one of the biggest concerns in my career is just figuring out how to exit gracefully.
I've watched people overstay their welcome, and I just don't ever want to be that guy and that's addicted to the feeling of victory, addicted to the emotion of people digesting something that they love, and get to a point where I'm feeding them something and they're just like, yeah.
What help?
This is indeed something that musical artists face. A great example of this is Eminem. Eminem was the rap god before Drake showed up, and he owned 10 years of rap, but the following 10, not so much. Then he came out swinging again with Kamikaze, and it was awesome. Then he had his most recent album, Music to be Murdered By, and it was less successful. A sign that Eminem had his last punch and now needs to bow out. So perhaps Drake needs to do the same, since he's already done enough to cement his legacy in the business.
Well, really just kind of taking all the energy that I've talked to you about and trying to project it into music.
He's already been branching out. Now, to be clear, I'm not just meaning branching out in the business world like other rappers like Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Kanye, and Diddy have done. I'm talking more along the lines of he's been trying to shake up his own musical style and make something different. For example, he did a collaboration with Latin star Bad Bunny, and Drake sang entirely in Spanish, and it was pretty good. And if you listen to certain bits of his music over the last year or so, you'll hear parts that sound like rap, but also parts that sound like other genres. So it's possible that his career in rap may be wearing on him, or like many before him in the music world, he wants something fresh and new, and so in his mind that means doing other genres. This isn't unprecedented in many ways. Major music legend Taylor Swift went from country music, where she earned millions and got tons of awards, to pop music, because she wanted some more freedom with her style and tracks. Maybe Drake could hop to another genre to change things up, or decide to help produce stars in other genres. It's hard to say. Drake is definitely a guy who seeks to do more than just the regular rapper. He's proven that time and time again. So if he wants to leave rap, it'd be hard to blame him for doing so.
Conversational style, sporadic thoughts going everywhere, but somehow all connecting.
He's already unconventional at it in his approach. Another thing that Drake has going for him is that he's the kind of guy to break the tradition in the right way if it helps him and his music. For example, it would be rare for you to find a rapper that is so into streaming music like Drake is. Drake has gone so far as to release entire soundtracks digitally instead of having physical copies, which sometimes then sets the internet on fire, metaphorically speaking. If you don't believe me, look at what he recently did at the beginning of August 2019. Knowing that he had a lot of songs that never made it to the streaming side of the world, which is a big market in the music industry, he went and made Care Package. He took basically every non-digitally released song, beat track, leaked song, YouTube only video, etc., put it together and put it out on the internet for people to download and enjoy. You'll find rare tracks from him like Paris Morton Music, Draft Day, and freestyles like 4 p.m. in Calabasas and 5 a.m. in Toronto. In many ways, this is groundbreaking, which is what Drake likes to do. He likes to break the mold and be an example of what the mold itself needs to be. So why not release a Care Package like this? And more importantly, why not go and leave rap if you feel the time is right? What's the point of keeping going if you don't don't feel like it's doing anything for you? Isn't it enough that you've done everything a musician could ever hope to achieve? What's there left to achieve for Drake? Exactly. So while it may be unconventional for Drake to leave at what many consider the height of his power, Drake is an unconventional guy, so it wouldn't be too much out of character for him to do it.
In the Beverly Hills, like 200. Richard Mille RM 69 750. Might be the first $1 million outfit on.
He's already lived a good life thanks to rap. Let's be honest here. A lot of rappers don't come from great homes in childhood. Whether it be through circumstances, being put away, substances, or other things, life just doesn't go well for them until they get into the rap field. For Drake, that's definitely the case, but it's also true that the other half of the stigma came through too, because he's one of the biggest singers in the world. But at one time he was just a little kid in Toronto, Canada, and early in his life his father left him and his mother to pursue his own career in music. Drake's mother worked hard, but they could barely afford to live, so they had to go into a really small apartment just to get by. Drake's first break wasn't in music, but actually in television with Degrassi.
Yeah, what up, what up? We just get straight. Yeah, you know who it is. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2.
The Next Generation. He wasn't even sure he wanted to be in it, but the money would help his mother, so he joined up. He became one of the key characters and went 145 episodes in the series until his character graduated. It should also be noted that in the music video for I'm Upset, he went and did a reunion with his Degrassi peers. After being inspired by guys like Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, he would later go and try his hand at rap. He made his own mixtapes, made music videos, and more. Eventually, he would sign with Lil Wayne's Young Money Records, but it was noted at the time that he was actually having a bidding war for his talents due to his musical ability and minor fame at the time. Once he got his flow going, the hits, the albums, the awards, and more just started flowing in. So about 10 years later, where we are right now, he went from a hotshot making his name to a guy whose name is on everyone's lips in regards to his music. To say it again, how much more does he need to make it to be happy? He's already happy now. He has just about everything you could want and more. He's got cars, a fleet of them. He's got a couple mansions. He throws lavish parties, etc. He's got it all. So why not end it before things turn like they sadly do for most rap? After all, Drake does have a dark side, whether people want to admit it or not.
If you don't stop, I'm gonna come out there and f you up, bro.
He's got a temper. Look, it's rarely ever fun to talk about the dark side of a person, we get it, but many careers have been tainted, ruined, or worse because of the dark side of the person coming out and causing a big mess. And when it comes to Drake, he's got a temper of some note. Let me guess, you want some proof that we're not just spewing things? Well, sadly, you honestly don't have to go very far to get the proof you want. Let's start with his most famous one. Drake is a very complicated man when it comes to his love life, but he has openly admitted many times that he loves Rihanna, while her most infamous relationship was over her being with Chris Brown, who wasn't kind to her in any way, shape, or form when you get right down to it. After the big separation that spilled over the news, Drake dated her, and Chris Brown tried to play it cool by talking to Drake at a nightclub and saying there were no hard feelings. You can see where this is going, right? Good. Because as you can likely guess, Drake didn't want to hear it. He said some not so nice things about Brown pushed him, and Drake pushed him back. And the situation was made worse. Though details are somewhat sketchy about how intense it actually got, the point is, it happened. It made a lot of news sites, and it was so famous that after it was over, they did a parody of the fight during the Epsies.
Oh my God, you're the surgeon?
Oh, I'm not the surgeon. He is.
Yo, Lamar.
A one-time affair, you say? Not so much. Another time in a nightclub, his crew was insulted and he went after the people at fault. After being taken out of the nightclub, he threw thousands of dollars at the bouncers in order to let him back in because he wanted the people who were talking smack. Objectively, loyalty for your crew is a good thing, but flying off the handle like that, yeah, that doesn't help you at all. But it's not the end. Last year, during his time watching the Raptors, they had a match against the Washington Wizards, and when they did, he got into a shouting match with player Kendrick Perkins. This shouting match got so intense that he had to be separated from him by both teams. And then he went and followed him back into the locker room area to talk some more smack. Another recent incident actually involved his security forces. Drake didn't personally get involved in this one, but he was sued nonetheless because his forces actually hurt a guy for getting too close to them and various other things. He'll get off for the right reasons, but it does seem like issues seem to follow him around. So as you can see, Drake is never afraid to defend himself, and that's fine to an extent, but the truth is that he has a hard time controlling that temper when the circumstances are right, and that gets him into a lot of trouble. And while he himself hasn't gotten fully detained or put in jail for his temper just yet, it may only be a matter of time. Yeah, that may be grim thinking, but it's the truth. What if he messes with the wrong person? He could be charged, which would end his career in a premature way that he definitely doesn't want. Now, we're not saying that Drake will go off and ruin his career, but in the rap world, anything is possible.
You know, to be honest with you, I actually did a DNA test for my son
Adonis. The rapper lifestyle is not for everyone, because if you're popular enough and you're willing enough, everyone wants a piece of you. Many rappers have gotten in trouble for not holding back their more basic impulses, and Drake sadly is on that list, because as it was revealed from a not so good source, he has a son. Ironically enough, Drake spent the first half of 2018 denying he had a son, even singing about it in some of his songs to further prove his feelings on the matter. What's more, when Kanye West hinted that Drake had an illegitimate son in one of his songs, Drake went on a warpath about it and did his best to discredit the rumors. But now he's come out with the truth. He does indeed have a son called Adonis Graham, and he had this said child with an adult film star named Sophie Brousseau. Yep, it's real. Very real. This is a big blow to Drake even after all these months of the kid being revealed to the world at large. Not the least of which is that Drake himself has sung multiple times that he would never sleep with a woman if he didn't want to sire a child with her. And yet when Sophie came out and said she was pregnant with his child, he outright denied it. And now he's backpedaling hard in order to come off as a better man, even doing interviews solely about this development. I'm a single father learning to communicate with a woman who, we've had our moments, Drake said. I don't want to be able to explain to my son what happened. I do want to be able to explain to my son what happened, but I don't have any desire for him to not love his mother, or I don't ever want the world to be angry at his mother. We have found ourselves in a situation and we're both equally responsible. Claiming responsibility for his actions is good, but whether he truly means them or not is a bit of a tricky subject. There is no doubt he has no ill feelings for the boy himself. That's not in Drake's character, and he claims to have unconditional love for Sophie, but that may not exactly be the case, which is proven by the fact that after all this time, they're not back together, and there is no indication of that happening, because by his own admission, the thing he feared the most about this whole situation was telling his mother what he had done. I think I was more scared to tell my mom, because my mom has had real relationships with women in my life over the course of my years that I'm sure she would expect or be elated if I were to have gotten one of those women pregnant. It was tough for me to tell her that it was somebody that she never even met. So right there, he admits shame for what he had done. Drake's life has pretty much been an open book, and one of the many pages of that book was about his mother and father, how they divorced when Drake was young, and how dad left him and his mother and went to the States to start a music career for himself, how he got arrested and spent much of Drake's early life in prison instead of with him. Drake fought hard to not be that kind of man, and yet here we are. He's got an illegitimate son and a lover as his mother that he's not really sure what to do with. Despite this though, many know that Drake will take good care of Adonis. Drake is actually the opposite of a deadbeat dad, a source told Entertainment Tonight. In fact, he's been financially supporting Brousseau before and after her pregnancy. All told, it may be possible that the reason Drake is going to leave rap is so that he can be the dad to Adonis that his father wasn't to him. It would certainly be a very noble end to his career, even if it's a little abrupt. And while it's true that he could do both, his music career takes a lot of time away from him. And if he wants to be the father he claims he wants to be, he'll do nothing more than be there for his son at all times.
Jesus, man.
Well, we are in Toronto, Canada, at my house, which is a nice thing to say.
He's got Toronto. Despite everything going on in his life right now, there's something that is constant in his life, something that he knows he can return to and love: Toronto. Sure, his early life there wasn't the easiest, but the love of Toronto never died from Drake. Despite everything he went through, he loves it and calls it home. What's more, he's an icon in Toronto in the best way possible. He holds concerts there, he has a music brand there that helps kids get off the streets and into the studios. He owns businesses and helps gentrify the area too. He's so famous that you could argue Toronto has never been more popular since the time when his fame came forward. Why bring this up? Simple. With all that he's doing in Toronto, he could do even more for the city if he dedicates his time to it. His full time, I mean. Imagine all the good he could do for his OVO brand, or the businesses he could buy and run, and the building up of the city he can do. So yeah, Drake is a guy who is beloved in his hometown, and if rap music isn't fulfilling him, he's already got a new life goal waiting for him, making Toronto the best it can be. What better reason to retire than something noble like that? Drake has shown the world over and over that he loves his hometown, so why not use what he has built up, a $170 million net worth, to fix it up even more so that the next generation has a better chance? Seems like a perfect career transition to us. And there you have it, everyone, a look at why Drake's career might be over sooner than you think. But is it really over? Will Drake ever go in a new direction or leave music entirely? Or will he double down on his career and keep going? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe. I'm King Trending, and I'll see you next time.